Hello, and welcome to Government Unit 1, pages 4 through 5. Alright, we're going to be skipping in this video questions 8 and 9. You don't have to do them on your own. We just don't have to worry about them for this video or this moment. So tyranny! Again, tyranny. A tyranny is a government in which the leadership has no accountability to the people. It means it doesn't have to listen to what you say. It doesn't have to care about what you think or how you feel. It doesn't have to worry about your health or your wealth, whatever. They just do whatever they want. Now, tyrants can be good because maybe they decide they do care today, or maybe they always care. But then the next leader comes in and maybe he doesn't, and he doesn't have to, because the only way you can make him do anything is if you risk your life to try to kill him and hope that he doesn't use the military to stop you. So that is a tyranny. That is the number one thing that the Founding Fathers, when they set up the American government, were trying to avoid. That was their end game, number one goal. Make sure tyranny, from like they had in England under the king, could not happen again. So they had three different ways. There's three different ways they were going to try to bust tyranny. One is direct democracy, in which citizens make laws directly. And that's all it is. Citizens make the laws directly. They vote on it. Someone comes up with an idea for a law, and everyone gets together in that city or that town or village and has a vote. And if majority votes, then majority rule. Majority rule says if most people want it, they get it. And if not enough people want it, then you don't get it. And that's how decisions and laws and governmental decisions will be made in direct democracy based on government as we saw in ancient Greece. Tyranny buster number 2, a republic. Now in this one, instead of having people vote directly for laws and decisions, we vote for individuals who will then make decisions for us, as we saw in the ancient Roman Empire. And in that case, we may not like what the leaders decide. We might decide we made bad decisions with the leaders, but then we can vote them out in the next election and replace them. So even though we are giving up some of our power to these leaders that we're voting for, we can take that power back. Because if they don't listen to us, they're going to lose their job. And most people who are leaders don't want to lose their job. So there's a balance between doing things they think are right, and if that conflicts with the people, having to decide, if I make this decision, is it worth losing my job over? Because if I make an unpopular decision, the people will take me out of office. That's a republic. Finally, tyranny buster number 3, citizens' rights. This just seems so normal to us. Like, you have rights. That's not hasn't always been truth in history. At this time, at least before the American colonists set up shop, there was very limited rights. England was one of the first ones who had some kind of citizens' rights, so that's where we carried that tradition and expanded upon it. In the original colonies, but originally it all came down from the Magna Carta and the English Bill of Rights. And the English Bill of Rights gave certain freedoms to, again, rich white male people, right to make arguments with the government they have to listen to, have control over what taxes are, get fair trials, have freedom of speech. All of these things started with the English Bill of Rights, and before that the Magna Carta, which was the first time ever that power was officially taken from a king and given to the people. The rich people, but still, the king in England had to give up some of his power, and that came in the Magna Carta. All of this was a major influence on trying to avoid tyranny by removing power from the king and the leader and making sure that no matter what the leadership is, there's certain rights that the government, no matter what it is, can't take away. Certain freedoms you as an individual that nothing can prevent. Those were the 3 major ways of fighting tyranny. And they were majorly influenced by a number of writers from England and across Europe. There's 2 in particular. And they all believed on what's known as relying on reason, which is the belief that people do have the power to reason. They're not necessarily, they don't have to be mindless sheep. They can think for themselves and not just whatever they feel is right, but actually do research and actually read and understand and think clearly. They believe people had their power, the ability to rely on reason. And one of those writers that they heavily relied on was John Locke. John Locke believed that all mankind, being equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. These things cannot be taken away from any government if people truly are free, and they are born with these things. It's up to governments to take them away. So he thought people need to fight to make sure governments don't take away these rights that you're born with, known as natural rights. It's an important term to remember for American government and John Locke. The other important leader is Montesquieu. There's no crueler tyranny than that which is perpetuated under the shield of law and in the name of justice, meaning the government taking away rights and making decisions for you that hurt you and your way of life, saying, oh, we have to do this, it's for your own good. We have to do this because it'll keep you safe. And we're just doing this for the betterment of the country, so you're just going to have to suffer for right now. That was a fear Montesquieu had. And he believed that the way to avoid that is to separate powers. Make sure that no part of government is so strong that they can do that without someone else having the ability to step in and say, whoa, 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 that's taking it too far. Security, safety, that's important, but there's a limit where you can't cross. That's called separation of powers, taking the government, breaking it up into chunks and pieces, and not having it all just one man's hands or just a few men's hands. That was Montesquieu. That was Montesquieu's idea, and these two ideas were probably the two biggest influences, not the only, but the two biggest influences on all of original American democracy, and still carries through to this day. That's why I can say they're huge influences, because they're still there. Their influences are still on the Constitution to this very day. This is one of the parts that was not taken out in the original American government or in the second American government, the Constitution. We'll talk about that more in a future video. Alright, go ahead and take the Edmodo quiz. Don't forget the homework tonight, pages 8 through 12 in your Unit 1 packet. Thank you.